Hello everyone, many thanks for visiting. My name is Carlos and today I'd like to go through the Calvine UFO case that recently came to light in social media and also on the internet. And credit goes to Sheffield Hallam University and Lindsay for making this photograph available to the public. So the big question being asked is this the best UFO picture ever taken? In my opinion, the answer to that question is no. It's not the best picture because I do believe this is a man-made object. It's not extraterrestrial. And I will talk about that later on in the video. Now, there is a sequence of events that happened on the 4th of August 1990, and we're talking about 32 years ago. 32 years, this photograph has been hidden away. And it's only because of the effort of David Clarke and his team, and also Craig, Lindsay, that this photo has come to light, to the surface. Let me show you the original photo, print color, that was publicized. It shows a diamond-shaped object and a small plane to the right. This is actually a Harrier fighting jet. A fence, barbed wire fence, and some bushes at the bottom, and also there were some bushes at the top, but it got cut out from this picture. So in this sequence of events, there's few people involved. One, the Scottish Daily Record newspaper. Two, the hikers. They took the snapshots and sent the snapshots to the paper. Three, Craig Lindsay, who at the time was the Royal Air Force press officer for Scotland. And what happened is the paper sent a print to Craig to ask for his comments on it. Four, the MOD, Minister of Defence in England. What happened was that Craig sent this information to the MOD for approval, for comments as well. Five, we got David Clarke, a British journalist, current associate lecturer at Sheffield Hallam University. And finally, Andrew Robinson, who is a senior lecturer, professor, also at Sheffield Hallam University. What happened was that David, when he got hold of the print, the picture, he sent the picture to Andrew, who is an expert in pre-digital photography, and Andrew made a great analysis of the picture and verified its authenticity. So he didn't find anything wrong with the picture, basically. Right, so let me talk about the sequence of events that evening of the 4th of August 1990. So two hikers, they used to work at the Untitled Palace Hotel. That's near the A9 in Scotland, Calvine. So they used to work at the hotel, Untitled Palace Hotel, as casual workers, basically, holiday workers. They work for pocket money, seasonal, washing dishes. And after a day's shift on the evening of the 4th of August, they decided to go for a walk. I mean, this area in Scotland is beautiful. The highlands, the moorlands, the scenery is gorgeous. It's inviting to go for fresh air. So they took the car, parked the car near the A9, and went for a walk. They went through some woods, and when they came to the edge of the woods, they jumped over a barbed wire fence and started to walk in the moorlands. Now, all of a sudden, they saw this huge object hanging in the sky, silently, stationary. And they really got scared. So they ran back to the woods, the three-power fence, the barbed wire fence, and managed to hide in some bushes nearby because they wanted to keep observing this object that appeared suddenly out of nowhere. Few minutes later, they heard the sound of a jet engine, and they saw this small plane, a Harrier plane, that approached the object from behind and circled the object 3 or 4 times, and then continued its course and disappeared. In the meantime, the object stayed there, so one of the hikers took the camera and took few snapshots, 6 snapshots of the object, and that's it. The next day they went to the paper, to the Scottish Daily Record, and handed over the negatives because they thought, look, this is a significant sighting, we want you to put it on the paper. The paper never did that. What the paper did was contacted Lindsay, who at the time was the Royal Press Officer for the Royal Air Force, RAF, Scottish Royal Air Force. And they went to the phone and said, look, Craig, we want an opinion on this case. What do you think? So Craig said, well, send me some information, send me a picture or whatever, and I'll take a look. So the paper took a print of one of the photos and sent it in a sealed envelope to Craig, who got it next day. So, and this is significant. Craig kept a copy of this print for himself and sent the information to the MOD, to the Minister of Defense in London. So when the Minister of Defense saw this picture and they went back to Craig and said, look, Craig, can you go back to the newspaper and get everything that they have about this case, the negatives, the hikers' names and addresses and contact details. So Craig did that. He went back to the newspaper, asked for the information, and got it back. What Craig did also was he dialed one of those phone numbers and spoke to one of the hikers who explained everything that happened that evening. And then Craig sent the information back to the MOD. The MOD got back to Craig and said, look, you stay out of this, we take care of this case from now on, so forget about it. And that's it. This has stayed quiet for 32 years. It's only thanks to David and his team and Craig that allowed this photo to come to the surface again. So that's what happened. Let me show you the picture of not this one, but this one. So this is Craig Lindsay, showing the original print that he got in a sealed envelope. So he's actually, I tell you what happened. So David, the British journalist, he started investigating this case for many years, and he managed to get in touch with Craig. And he traveled all the way to Scotland to interview him. So on that interview, that picture's been taken. So Craig didn't want to be in the public eye. Craig said, look, I've been waiting for someone to contact me for 32 years about this case. No one has but you. And this is the original print that I kept. I don't want to be in the public eye. So what David suggested, David said, look, let me hand this over. If you donate this photo to Sheffield Hallam University, we keep it and I'll take care of any questions, or I'll face the public basically. And Craig was happy with that. So that's how David Clarke obtained this picture and make it available for everyone. So one thing, after obtaining the picture, one thing that David did was he contacted Andrew Robinson, the senior lecturer in photography at Sheffield Hallam University. Andrew is an expert in pre-digital photography, so he did an extensive analysis on this photo and confirmed that it was authentic. So basically, if I go back to this picture, the original picture, just one second. Let me go back to the original picture. So this one, maybe the other one. So but let me go back to, that's actually the Harrier plane. I want to go back to this picture. Yeah, this is the original print. So what happened is, so Andrew Robinson, he analyzed the photo. There are some known objects in this photo. So he took measurements of the fence, the barbed wire fence, the distance between the post, the size of the small plane, and based on these information, he deducted that this craft was about in between 30 to 40 meters wide and about 8 to 12 meters height. So quite a big object. Now, one thing to remember or to highlight is that when the hikers, let me go back to the hikers, when they were observing this object, it was silent in the sky, no noise at all. And all of a sudden, it started to tilt upwards and move upwards slightly, and suddenly it shot up and disappeared. So it shows that this craft had propulsion technology out of this world. It's a technology that I believe we already possessed anyway. Whether it's borrowed technology from alien technology, that's another question, but I believe this to be a man-made object. One significant thing that happened during this sighting, or a couple of days later, is that the Gulf War exploded. It started a couple of days later after this sighting. Saddam Hussein invaded Kuwait, and everything became mayhem. And this, I would call it experimental craft, maybe was sent for surveillance, and it was traversing the Scottish sky at the time, heading towards the Gulf. And let me show you one interesting thing. If you look at the, I'll jump onto the other picture. Look at the camouflage on this craft. I mean, it's got the colors of the desert, which is quite interesting. You can see there is no windows or anything like that. There is a kind of opening towards the right-hand side. Could that be part of the anti-gravity technology? And at the end of it, there is like a bigger end, which is probably part of the propulsion system as well. I'm just speculating here. But anyway, to summarize, I believe this object not to be extraterrestrial. It's not the best UFO picture ever taken. I do believe that this is that we build this craft. One of the biggest companies out there, probably Lockheed Martin. We possess this technology. It's not released to the public, but we do possess that technology already. And at some point in the next few years, it will be disclosed. This is probably part of the Aurora project that has been going on for quite a few years, and right now we actually possess more advanced craft than this one. Okay, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. There's a lot of information about this case out there on the internet. I just wanted to express my take on it. So thanks for watching, thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.